Guys, if you've seen the channel recently, you know that Treading Water is one of, if not my favorite movie of the year so far. And if you watch the channel, I've seen a lot of movies this year. I'm joined by director and producer of Treading Water today. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
I need to talk to you about this movie. The idea, how did you come up with this idea of these two people who are essentially kindred spirits who have been completely rejected by society?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it started when I was working in a supported house. So I wasn't like, I was making films in supported housing and teaching camera skills and stuff. But I was in this environment where you'd see these people who had loads of issues with their family, mental health issues, physical issues, issues with addiction. But then I felt like they kept having a go, and they had such an upbeat nature about them that actually I wanted to explore those sorts of characters, and I wanted to explore characters with multiple issues and limited choices. And I thought a love story, you know, between Danny and Laura, I thought that was a way for people to empathise with people who are dealing with so many issues.
Yeah. And listen, I've tragically been surrounded by, so I spent a lot of time living in Southeast Asia, and the place where I was, I mean, it was inundated with drug addiction, inundated. And that's what I found really quite hard to watch about your movie. In a good way, that's just testament to how damn good it is. But it's the drug scenes, like the injecting in the back of the bus, or the fact that he's trying to get away from it and never can. How much of that is stuff that either you've seen personally or read about, and has directly influenced your work? Because it was so real.
We did try to be as real as possible. I mean, in all honesty, I'm from a massive family. So my grandma had 13 children. So I've got tons of cousins. And I was brought up till I was about 10 in Walton, you know, near the football grounds. And my cousins were all around me, and we all used to get on really well. But unfortunately, some of them, as they got older, they did succumb to heroin addiction. And, you know, some of them, and I feel like Danny's quite good at hiding it in a way, and some of them, you could see that they could hide it well, and others you could tell. And it's a battle all the time, you know. You've got, you do get, people going in and out of and relapsing, but some do get off it as well. And I felt with Danny, I just wanted to make everything that Joe did and Danny did, we were all on the same page. We wanted to make it feel real, and we actually thought, well, you know, like the back of the bus, you ask the question, is this possible? And you think, actually, yeah, this is possible.
Well, it's more than possible, it happens, doesn't it? And that was, there's no glamorization, or we didn't want to put any glamorization into it. We just wanted to tell a real picture of society.
And, you know, people always, you know, when we talk about heroin movies, the obvious one to reach for is Trainspotting, right? But even with Trainspotting, I find that there's some scenes like, yes, the scene with the baby in that movie is horrible and hard to watch. But then his going cold turkey and all that, it's very, very Hollywoodized. This felt, for lack of a better word, it felt British, it felt grounded, it felt gritty. Like I could smell the pee in the alleys of Manchester. How did you capture that? I believe it.
Yeah, to be fair, we use real locations. I mean, that location is at the back of Piccadilly Station in Manchester, and that's the real red light district there. So we didn't like shy away from picking real locations and just going there with our cameras and our crew. And shooting there, and I think it added to the performance.
100%.
You know, and we gave the performers a free rein. We put performance at the top of the tree for the film. Like we didn't want to give anything else other than story and performance the #1 spot. So the actors got loads of opportunities to impro around the script. So we'd get takes on the script, obviously, but then we'd impro into the scene, and all the time you're developing more and more traits to the characters and more nuances. We thought, even with Joe's OCD, we wanted to be subtle with it, but show it was there. So it was just this fine balance working with Joe and just giving opportunities to the performers, and we lit it that way as well.
And really picking a cast that not only were very talented and had great chemistry, but understood the story and the area and the plight of, just real working class people that perhaps hadn't been directly impacted, but knew people that had been impacted by the issues we're talking about, and were able to relate to it and bring that to their characterizations throughout.
Speaking of the OCD, that's again, this was a very out-of-body experience I had while watching it. The way you depicted Joe's OCD in this film, it was like the best. Oh, really? No. It was like
do you mean the intrusive thoughts or the OCD?
his tics.
The little taps. Yeah.
The best OCD depiction I've seen since Jack Nicholson is as good as it gets, because it was real, but it wasn't ham-fisted. It's like these, the little tippy-tappy on the tiles, although he's touching the...
Did you ever notice how many times he taps? Because that was a little bit...
4, I thought.
Yes! Yeah, you got it.
Wow, proper fan.
He always did 4, yeah.
We wanted it to be real, didn't we?
Yeah, and that wasn't scripted, that was Joe.
Testament to Joe.
Me and Joe chatting, but Joe come up with it. Joe's fantastic, Becky's fantastic. The character who plays Rob, Daryl, Darren, Christine, Vinny. I mean, we were just lucky to work with such talented people.
And it's in the north.
It's in the north. And for my channel, for the purpose of my channel, it's a piece of British cinema. It's a piece of British independent cinema, which is what my channel is all about. I could talk to you guys all day, and I've been given my cue to wrap. Any chance I could schedule a longer interview with you on the channel?
Absolutely.
Reach out to Christopher,
Absolutely.
I'd love to.
Cool.
We'd be honoured. We really would.
Thank you so much. The movie, my favourite of the year. Amazing.